Two men in sharp suits arrive at a remote parking lot. They meet a black market dealer at the back of a freight truck. The dealer is loud and manic, opening crates filled with illegal hardware. He presents a hollow point bullet, referring to it as Black Death. He details the ballistics, nickel plating and jagged edges designed to expand upon impact. He claims the projectile will shred a human skull like a cabbage. The brothers offer no reaction. The dealer moves to the next item, Kevlar vests. He holds up the white garments, praising their lightweight, non-woven fiber. He insists they are impenetrable. One brother looks at the dealer and asks if they actually work. The dealer smiles and says he never leaves home without one. The test begins immediately. One brother puts the vest on over his shirt. The other brother draws a handgun and fires a single shot into his sibling's chest at point-blank range. The impact slams the man into a pile of crates. Gunpowder smoke hangs in the air. The dealer stops talking. The brother on the floor groans, then slowly sits up. He reaches into the fabric of the vest and digs out the spent, flattened lead. He holds it up for inspection, the protection held. They do not thank the dealer. They drop a thick stack of $100 bills onto a crate, gather the equipment, and walk out of the truck. They leave the dealer standing alone in the dark. Hank sits in his vehicle when a restricted call comes through. A distorted voice delivers a single fact. Two men are coming to kill him, and he has 1 minute. Hank watches the dashboard clock. He is currently suspended, stripped of his badge and his usual sense of security. As the countdown hits 0, two silent figures appear in the parking lot. They open fire immediately. Steel core rounds pierce the Jeep's body. Hank is trapped in the line of fire. He shifts the vehicle into reverse and floors the engine, pinning one assassin between 2 tons of metal. The man's lower body is crushed instantly. Hank crawls from the wreckage, but a bullet finds his leg. He collapses onto the pavement, leaving a heavy trail of blood. He is out of ammunition and out of time. The second assassin approaches with deliberate, slow steps. He views the wounded agent not as a threat, but as a chore. He discards his firearm, deeming a bullet too merciful for the man who crossed his cartel. He retrieves a polished axe from his trunk. He walks back to Hank, who is gasping for air on the asphalt. Hank's fingers find a stray hollow point bullet on the ground, dropped during the struggle. He forces the round into his empty chamber as the assassin stands over him. The killer raises the axe, offering a final insult. He swings. Hank fires first. The hollow point round expands on impact, ending the hitman instantly. Hank collapses, the threat neutralized in a pool of blood and spent brass. Hector Salamanca forces a young boy's head into a bucket of ice water. He watches the struggle with total indifference until the boy nearly suffocates. He releases him, only to state a cold family creed. Family is everything. This brutality defines the twins. Years later, they stand in a dark trailer, purchasing Black Death hollow point ammunition. These rounds are engineered to expand into 6 razor-sharp claws upon impact. To verify the quality of their body armor, one twin shoots the dealer in the chest at point-blank range. They take the gear and leave the man gasping on the floor. In a sun-drenched parking lot, DEA agent Hank Schrader receives a restricted call. A distorted voice warns him that 2 men are coming to kill him. He has exactly 1 minute. Hank scans the area as the seconds tick down on his dashboard. A shadow moves. The first volley of gunfire erupts, tearing through his car. Hank is struck multiple times. He manages to start the engine, slamming the vehicle into reverse to crush one twin against the parked car, severing the assassin's leg. The remaining twin, Marco, walks toward the wreckage. He sees Hank bleeding on the asphalt, his service weapon empty. Marco discards his own firearm and retrieves a heavy axe from his trunk. He wants a ritualistic kill. He stands over Hank, raising the blade. In the dirt, Hank spots a single dropped hollow point round. He slides it into the chamber just as the axe begins its descent. One shot to the head ends the encounter. The assassin's arrogance proves more fatal than the bullets he carried.
Walter White sits in a sterile hospital waiting room, staring at the floor. He is waiting for a PET CT scan, a high-precision imaging tool designed to track the metabolic changes in his tumors. A young man sits across from him. The stranger is also a patient, but he speaks of surrender. He tells Walter that he has learned to let go, to give up control, and to let a higher power decide his fate. Walter listens in silence until he can no longer contain his contempt. He calls the young man's logic bullshit. He tells the stranger never to give up control. Walter argues that cancer is not unique. Every human life is a death sentence from the moment it begins. He insists that the only way to exist is to live on one's own terms, regardless of the diagnosis. He refuses to be a passenger in his own life. Later, Walter gathers with his family for dinner. The tension at the table breaks when he reveals the results of the scan. He is still in remission. His family celebrates, but Walter's face remains a mask of cold resolve. The medical confirmation of his survival does not humble him, it empowers him. He sees the remission not as a gift, but as a tactical victory he forced from the universe. This sense of absolute control drives him back to the underground lab. He zips up his yellow hazmat suit and returns to the chemicals. He has cheated death, and now he is ready to master his empire. Hank pulls a black GPS tracker from his pocket while sitting in a parked car. He points toward a 10-year-old Volvo across the lot. He demands that Walter White attach the device to the vehicle's wheel well. Walter hesitates, questioning the legality of the act, but Hank ignores the protest. He tells Walter to walk past the car and use the untied shoelace trick to hide the installation. Walter steps out into the sunlight. He is acutely aware of the security cameras and the eyes watching from inside the restaurant. He reaches the target vehicle, drops to one knee, and snaps the magnetic device into the wheel well. The task is complete, but the pressure only intensifies. Walter does not return to Hank's car. Instead, he walks directly into Los Pollos Hermanos. He stares into the lens of the security camera before approaching the counter. Gus Fring stands there in a yellow uniform, maintaining a professional smile. Walter drops the pretense. He informs Gus that his brother-in-law is a DEA agent and is currently conducting an investigation. The restaurant air turns cold. Gus remains calm, his eyes fixed on Walter with terrifying neutrality. He offers no threats, only a polite manager's response. Walter realizes he is now a bridge between two lethal forces. He has revealed the trap, yet he remains trapped himself. The encounter ends without a single shout, leaving a silence that carries the weight of an inevitable explosion.
Walter White writes the word chiral on a chalkboard. He tells his students that mirror images look identical but can have opposite effects. One version of a molecule is a harmless medicine. Its mirror image causes permanent birth defects. The lecture ends, and Walter moves from the classroom to a crime scene. He and Jesse Pinkman have a body to eliminate. Walter chooses chemical disincorporation. He steals jugs of hydrofluoric acid from the school lab. The plan requires a specific container. Walter calls Jesse and gives a direct order: buy a plastic bin made of polyethylene. He tells Jesse to check the bottom for the LDPE symbol. He issues a clear warning: this acid will not eat through plastic, but it will dissolve metal, glass, and ceramic. Jesse stands in a hardware store and looks at the plastic bins. He finds them flimsy. He decides to use his ceramic bathtub instead. Walter arrives at Jesse's house. He hears a liquid dripping from the second floor. A red stain spreads across the hallway ceiling. The wood begins to groan. Suddenly, the floor collapses. The ceramic bathtub, dissolved into jagged pieces, crashes through the ceiling. It lands in a pile of red sludge and liquefied human remains. The acid has eaten through the porcelain and the support beams. Walter stands over the mess. He reminds Jesse of the simple chemistry he ignored. The acid does not affect plastic, but it destroys everything else. Walt and Jesse stand in a quiet kitchen, facing the reality of their first two victims. One is a corpse in the RV, the other is a distributor named Crazy 8, chained in the basement. They argue over who must finish the job. Jesse wants no part of the killing. Walt insists on the system. He produces a coin and proposes a toss to settle the division of labor. Jesse chooses heads. The coin falls. The result is final. Jesse will dissolve the body in acid, and Walt will deal with the man downstairs. Walt descends into the cellar. Crazy 8 sits on the concrete floor, his neck